Hey, what up, everyone? I'm Sinnycool, and this is Gems of War. And today I have three teams for you for the raid event. Three ideas early in the morning on a Friday. So let's go. This first team is to get through the early battles quickly. You don't want to keep using this the whole entire way, but this will get you to where, you got Zul'Goth and he's getting a little bit harder at least. So I went with Mountain Crusher, Scourge of Honor ×2, and Sybil of Lust. So if you're looking at this team, don't think you need to have all of this. This was just me getting through the early battles quickly. So the easiest battles, you can do whatever you want. You could use one of the other two teams to also do this. But just for me to make a video to get through the early battles, like why not use something really good and fast to get deeper into the event so I can show you some other teams. So if you happen to have double Scourge of Honor, which I kind of recommend getting, it's one of those mythics where you could definitely grab two of them. The second one shouldn't be like super high up there on your priority list or anything, and just one of them isn't really that. He's not like a top 10 or anything, but he does do true damage. He does hit all enemies. You can 50% start him, so he's one of those that you might want to grab two of eventually one day after you get like all the top 20s and stuff like that. So yeah, the Mountain Crusher and Sybil of Lust are just there to get, mana quickly, and then the two Scourge of Honors can really wipe them out quick in the beginning of the raid event until you get to where the Zul'Goth doesn't, die in two shots with the Scourge of Honor. That's when you would change it up and use the raid troop. Like I always say with raids, you don't need multiples of the raid troop because there's only one Zul'Goth, so it's really similar to invasions raids are, but the one thing that's different is the event troop is not as useful in raid events. It's only good for the one kill really, because you never really have a great raid troop or a great invasion troop. But since in invasions you end up with 4 towers, you could use like 3 or 2 of the invasion troop, and it would do really good because it's most powerful against the tower, and then there's 4 towers in the last battle, so you can use as many as you want and still do pretty good. But with this, with the raids, it's just one. There's not 4 Zul'Goths. I don't know why they did it like that. It'd be cool if there was 4 Zul'Goths, but yeah, there's just one, so always use just one. Never use more than one because they're usually not strong against the other enemies on their team. So yeah, for just to get through the early battles, I went Mountain Crusher, Scourge of Honor, Sybil of Lust, Diabolist, double brown, red, minus yellow. All right, here's the first team. This is the high-level team, so I kind of took the team I was using to get through it quickly. I added the captain there and went to war. So, the Scourge of Honor got up pretty quickly there, so I'm going to go ahead and cast it. That knocks everything down to pretty weak. And then the Envoy of Pride just got up, so I'm going to cast that on Zul'Goth, get him out of here. And then we just need to get Scourge of Honor up one more time, and we'll be good to go. I use Mountain Crusher quite a bit when my main damage dealer uses Brown, because it makes a dust storm, explodes a bunch of brown. It's a very low mana cost. Everybody has it. So if you see something else you want to use, go for it. But Mountain Crusher is always a solid choice when your main damage dealer uses brown, or doesn't, because you blow up brown and all the gems around it, so it's not like it just gets up brown allies. It can get up other allies as well. The Sybil of Lust I'm using on, I think, all 3 teams because it explodes purple based on Daemon allies, and our whole team is Daemon. So it blows up a decent amount of purple, and it starts swift. And since you're probably going to buy up to the book, which is a pretty good weapon, and something you're going to want to collect anyway, you're going to end up having that explode potion, that enchant potion. So with it being swift and having the enchant potion, it's going to get up second turn every single time. So it's a second turn in power. So it's a mana generator. It's a swift, so it's going to be up on second turn. You can cast it and just get some mana flowing really early. This is one of the fastest events. Raids and invasion are usually some of the fastest events to get through. So that's why you'll see on the thumbnail you're like fastest ever, because it is. Like, these events are the easiest, the fastest ones. You can probably get it all the way done pretty quickly. I got to Zul'Goth really fast and then used up almost all my sigils. I think I only had like 2 sigils left today, so it was really fast. But yeah, Scourge of Honor, is there to kill the first 3, and you know, the Symbol of Lust is there to kill the Zul'Goth. And you got 2 mana generators once again to get them right back up. We got all Daemon allies once again for the Symbol of Lust. It's pretty much the first team, except for I took off 1 Scourge of Honor. I put on the raid captain guy, or chick, or whatever it is, bird. And, you know, took 1 Scourge of Honor off, put 1 Envoy of Pride on. And it was still working just fine. Scourge of Honor, there wasn't, the restriction was crappy. Like, it was Senna Mirage, so there wasn't very many good damage dealers. So Scourge of Honor, if you got it, go for it, I would say. He's good, he does true damage to all enemies, and all that. So here's the team if you do not have Scourge of Honor. This is for the lower level players. Now, like I said earlier, there's not very many good damage dealers in this restriction, Senna Mirage, so I had to go with an epic troop. Sorry about that, but hopefully you got Barghast there. What's cool about him is he burns and fairy fires the first 2 enemies. What's not so cool about that is sometimes you're going to have enemies that can't be burned or fairy fired. So when it works great, and when it doesn't work, it's still fine. But way better when it does do what I meant for it to do. So we got the new book. I had it in first slot. You can you don't have to put it in first slot. Like if you're losing troops, maybe put Barghast in first slot and then put the book down a slot. Barghast does get enraged, it looks like, anyway, so you might want to put him in first slot if you're losing troops. If you're losing any troops at all, put the book in like second slot and Barghast in first slot. I wasn't losing any troops, so I was getting the mana generator, put him in first slot, my hero in first slot, Fireblade in first slot. That's what I was talking about earlier. Because Barghast can burn and fairy fire the first 2 enemies, and then you have Fireblade, hopefully, if you have Diabolus fully to 100. If you don't, you could maybe use a different Fireblade class, but then you won't have all Daemon allies for the Symbol of Lust. So hopefully you're understanding the idea here. The Barghast burns and fairy fires the first 2 enemies. Then you have Fireblade with your hero, so you can crush them to death with skulls. You got the Envoy of Pride to kill Zul'Goth. And Barghast hits 2 enemies, fairy fires them, so then Envoy of Pride can help finish them off because they're fairy fired. He doesn't hit very hard, so it's not very fun to cast him on things that aren't Zul'Goth, but if you have them fairy fired with the Barghast first, you can either, you know, finish them off with Fireblade or Envoy or Barghast. So that was the strategy for me. Hopefully this helps y'all. We do have a live stream tomorrow at 10 a.m. EST. If you have any teams that you think are better, bring them there. Also, check out that video from yesterday. I did a lot of hard work on it, and it kind of went under the radar. Like, share, subscribe, consider joining. Helps a lot. Tell your good about it below. I'll see y'all next time. Peace.